Here we have a dahlia bush that has been topped off because I'm looking at the bottom ones. The top ones are up here, weren't any good to me because they will make a bud in the centre of the green when you make the green. So what I do is I take them from low down in the bush, and the ones taken the lowest down in the bush will most of the time not produce a bud. They have a growing tip. Now you've got to have a growing tip for it to grow. They will grow as a leaf cutting, but it's a different way of cutting them. I don't like the leaf cutting because it sends out just two tap roots, whereas these type of ones have a nice little clump, and I can plant them again in the same season. Now, here's an example. You see one there? See one there? See behind that shoot, there's a gap between there and the stem. Now I want to cut that off there. Now, what I'll do, I'll trim this one up when I'm out here. As you can see, there's growing tip in the centre. So what I'll do, I will take that off below that there, because I don't want this little green shoot that's in here, which it has got none in it anyhow, because it's going low down. I'll trim that there and there, and I'll reduce the amount of top it's got, and there's my cutting. They're the cuttings I'm looking for my greens. This is one, as you can see, I've just pulled the buds off the top, stripped it off, cut it off here, and cut down here, lower as well. There's Stephen here, right here. Now, you notice the ones I've cut low have all these shoots coming out here. Where all those laterals were, where all those joints were, they're all got, and they are going to be in a week ready to take off. So there's probably at least 20 there that I can take. But I can show you the other side of here, where I've taken it, just left it too high. There is the bud. There's the bud forming in the actual, it's already formed. So I just want to do this to show you the difference between taking them low down and taking them high up. In fact, if you look here, you'll find there is another bud, because it was taken, this was stopped too high. By stopping them low, as you can see, with the tips, there's a growing tip in there, and no, and here we are here, or there, where he wants to go. But they are, well, some will still make a pot on me, but most of them won't. So I've done this just to show you the difference between taking off high and taking them off low. Right, this is the cutting that you've seen me take out there. So now I'm going to plant it. Here I've got a hormone, a liquid one. I'm going to dip it in there. And with a pen picker there. Put it in my mix. And I'm not going to say exactly what sort of mix you've got to have, because what works for some don't work for others. So I've left that out of it. And of course you've got to put a tag there to tell you which one, or right on the side. With these peat pots you can write on the side of them. Right, they haven't done that. There's the way to put the lid back on. And now I'll water it. Some have different ways of watering, but this is the way I do it. The mix is a little bit dry. I'm looking for the water to come out the bottom so that it's completely wet. Around this side it's coming out and it's dripping down there now. Right. There's different methods of doing this. You can submerge it in, put it in water, and pull it out so it's all wet so that you get the bulb. But I've done it this way for a long time, and it just doesn't seem to worry. So go ahead, sorry. This is where I've got a box with ones I'm trying out. So I'll place it there. These ones here I'm trying out with different sprays on them for in case I get something affecting my dieback or something in them. And I've got 4 or 5 different fungicide sprays that I'm trying out, and this is an experimental area. Now, of course, this is a hotbed. I'm going to see where the gauge is. And there's the gauge. There's a switch, and up above here we have the lights. Later on when they grow tips on them, they'll be put underneath the 2 grow lights, and the heat will come from this. Six weeks since we've took the last shot of them, last filming, and this is what how they've grown. Had some quite a few of them this year, more than usual. Decided to stick a bud on the top, and I've taken the buds off to get a good growing tip. So here is an example what I've done. There you will see where the bud was, and there's now one next to it, so I don't want that one either. It'll come off. So you can see down here, now there's a next node just here above where I planted. It's shot out, and you can see the shoots. There's 3 there. Now I'm not worried about getting flowers off them. What I'm worried about, what I'm trying to do, is get a bigger clump of in the pot for next year. So when they're dried off. Now these are ones we have here. The ones down this way are the later ones are taken, or not so much later. There's some are later, but some are when you take greens, the slower taken off, and had more trouble with buds on them. But there, as you can see now, they're starting to go up here further. We have the ones you've seen before. Once again, you can see quite plainly there where it's been taken off, and then there's a bud above that again. Now it thinks it wants to flower, but I don't want it to flower. So in this occasion I'm going to come along and go like that. Now what I'm doing here, this light, it's no good being above the light anyhow. So I want it below the light, because these lights also send out some warmth or heat. So I've got heat coming from the bottom and heat coming from the top. I found by cutting them, they put more into the actual the clump you get underneath, and that is what's going to happen. Like this one here, I'll just nip him off there. So we'll send out shoots here, and they'll get the same thing will happen. Approximately early end of August, early August, I will be taking them out of the pots and drying them off, and I'm hoping that by and then for another 4 or 6 weeks that these will be, and the ones down there will be all like this. So there's my clumps. I dry them off, and then water them up in the trays, which are drier than what these are. Believe in here, they'll keep just want to grow. Take them out, dry them out. Then 3 weeks before planting time, I will water them up in the box, and they shoot and they are planted, and that's the best part of them. Here there is one, I had one bush left of one particular flower, a seedling or cultivar I should say, and only one I had was a green, because the tuber rotted on me. So by doing it this way, I took a count the other day, and I think there's 12 these side laterals that I have taken off it. So I've got the clump from under the ground, and also got the got these pot tubers to put in as well. So I've gained quite a bit off the one plant. So that's what it's all about. And also, you know, you can catch your sports or wherever it is. There's various ways of. I try and cut them so they're only like this with the one shoot and one tip. That's why I take them so low down in the bush, as we've seen previously. But there is now and again I experiment with a couple, and you get a different result. You get some shooting up from out of the ground like a leaf green as well. So you get, you know, 2 or 3 coming out of the ground, plus the one you've already got. Especially if it's got a bud on it, like it puts a bud on the top of it, you cut it off, and then that shoots out from under the ground, in the pot. So I've got it both ways there, and yeah. So yeah, it's been cold down here for early April, which didn't help, especially when you're trying to put roots on them, you know, root them up, and yeah. So yeah, the temperatures There's there, and the machine's behind it. And I don't know if I can pull this one forward far enough, but this is this year, and the size of the bud that's got on there. I don't want that. So this is going to get taken off. So that'll make it shoot out below. So, but this is only done for filming. I'll come back later and then chop these ones off. I'll do this one on here. And that's the top I took out. So it's the 21st of August, and it's time to take them out of the pots. As you can see, they look wilty because I stopped watering them so I gradually dry them back, and then I cut them off, and then take the tubers and put them in put them away for the rest of the winter, and plough them later. And you can see where I've taken the ones off earlier to stop them there, and you can see another one up here that I've taken off, and just to put more back down into here. And here is one that I stopped, and of course I've got two that come out of the ground. That was caused by me leaving two leaf nodes on either side of me cutting, and they of course come up from there. So it'd be interesting to see what actually is under that one. So over here I've got one that I've cut off just a minute ago. The top's down in there, and so we'll have a look and see what we've got. Fingers crossed. So you can see the roots around the outside, and how it's dried off, because I just gradually dry it off to stop it, because I want to start it up again before November and plant in the first week of November. So I'm gradually taking the roots off here and tag them, and I'll lose that. Most of the part of the peat pots, they grow through the peat pots and you kind of break the roots. Might be better if they were used in a normal pot, whereas I can just slide it out. See, I'm going to break some roots this time below the tubers there, so it'll send out fresh. There we are. There's our tuber, and if you look closely, you don't think that'll pick it up, but there's an eye right there. So that's ready to go. If I keep it dry, keep it reasonably dry or just moist, I don't want it to wilt, so it's going to be just moist. Then I'll water up, give it some water 3 weeks before I want to plant. By the time I go to plant them, they should be on their way. So that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I've got. Now over here, put that in there so I know what's what. Over here there's more of them that I've taken out to put in the actual boxes, and of course in here there's 2 boxes of them I've already done. As you can see, it's damp sawdust, and that pretty well completes the what we've done right through from April, where we've taken the side laterals off, right through till now. Maybe we might show them shooting after we water them, but this is what I try to achieve. as you can see, as the camera comes in, there's a shoot right there and a shoot right here. They want to go already, some of them, but I don't want them to do that, so I'll have to cool them down and try and, you know, hold them back from doing it. I may even have to nip that off, and then it'll shoot out to the base of it. So yeah. Oh yes. Yesterday we went along, and as you can see, this fresh one here, I've taken 3 off there. There were 3 shoots come out like this, and I decided I'd take some for greens and see how I go. If they root up, well, they are going to be too early to put in, but I might better take this day, stop them by taking the centre out of them, and I'll have them as well. They're in the container over here, which I normally do. They're in here. Lift this out of the road. There they are, the ones that were taken yesterday. Now they're the tops of those.